No mask, no service. More Texas cities order businesses to make workers and customers cover their faces.
We've had some pushback on that. We've had people that felt their civil liberties were being violated.
Why these new local orders might not be challenged by the state. Restrictions at nursing homes mean many Texans won't be able to visit Dad this year on Father's Day. Why plans are in the works now to change those rules. Texas universities make plans to reopen. How COVID-19 is bringing big changes that could keep some students out of the classroom. Hello, and thank you for joining us for State of Texas. I'm Josh Hinkle. Businesses in some of the largest cities in Texas now face new local COVID-19 orders. They require workers and customers to wear masks during the pandemic. Local leaders have been frustrated by state rules that they say kept them from enforcing COVID-19 orders. John Engel looks at what changed to let the new mask orders take effect.
Wild About Music in Austin chose to require masks since they reopened.
We've had some pushback on that. We've had people that felt their civil liberties were being violated. We've had people claim that they are compromised and they can't wear a mask, and it's been difficult.
Austin Mayor Steve Adler's order takes away the guesswork, mandating the businesses require employees and customers wear masks through August 15th.
It's a small price to pay to continue to keep the economy open.
Austin is following Bexar County's lead, which issued a similar order along with a penalty of a $1,000 fine for businesses that don't comply. This time, Governor Greg Abbott says the order's good to go, saying local governments do have the authority to enforce rules on businesses.
The county judge in Bexar County finally figured that out. They finally read what we had written and what they now realize they are capable of doing.
Little will change at Wild About Music, but for Meyer, the pressure of a political tug of war is relieved.
Yes, having an ordinance or some kind of opportunity for that to be enforced outside of our stores would be very, very helpful.
For State of Texas, I'm John Engel.
Thanks, John. While the new mask orders are slightly different from city to city, each one does allow for some exceptions. For example, in Austin, a person does not need to wear a face mask or a covering when they're alone and in a single separated space, or when they're only in the presence of people they live with, or if wearing a mask causes a greater mental, physical, or safety risk. There's also an exception for outdoor spaces if someone is alone or with people they live with and they're staying 6 feet away from others. And of course, masks are not required while eating and drinking. The governor put some blame for recent spikes in COVID-19 on young adults. He pointed to a surge of cases in Hays County. Governor Abbott says nearly 60% of people who tested positive this month in the county are under the age of 30. He said the hot spot for transmission is bars. An epidemiologist in Hays County says crowds at protests and people packing popular rivers are other factors driving the numbers up.
They floated the river since Memorial Day, which was just over 14 days ago, which is about the time frame where we would start to see people who were possibly exposed would be showing signs and symptoms and testing positive right now.
Schneider says the county has also seen high cases of COVID-19 among healthcare, construction, and food service workers. Texas public schools are on the path to reopen in the fall with students in the classroom. Texas Education Commissioner Mike Morath confirmed the plan in a Thursday call with state lawmakers. Earlier in the week, Governor Abbott said schools need to make sure students and staff will be safe.
We believe that students in schools is the best outcome. This will be in part based upon maintaining the current level of the transmission rate of COVID-19, as well as making sure that schools, as they do open up, will have safe distancing practices in place until such time comes along that we have medications that are able to treat COVID-19.
The TEA will not require students to wear masks. That's according to State Representative Jean Wu, who was on Thursday's call. However, Wu said the agency will allow school districts to make safety decisions that are supported by science. Commissioner Morath said a detailed reopening plan will be released next week. Universities in Texas are also making plans to reopen, but in the COVID-19 climate, they're preparing for a fall semester like none other. Our investigative team reached out to several colleges to see how their plans compare. Some are planning for in-person classes, while others are giving students and faculty a choice. Here's what investigator Aaron Cargile learned.
Every college or university has a plan A, a plan B, and maybe a plan C.
The interim president of Southwestern University in Georgetown explains how different the college life will be, even just eating on campus.
Students will not queue up at the dining hall and go through the dining hall lines that we're all used to, but rather order their meals remotely and receive them prepackaged and then spread out through our student center.
The small private school of 1,500 students is planning for socially distanced, face-to-face instruction, much like St. Edward's University in South Austin, which typically has a student population of around 3,700. St. Ed's sent COVID-19 safety plans to students this past weekend, including incoming sophomore Nolan Screen.
I'm pleased overall with what I see, and I'm definitely looking forward to going back and getting the in-person instruction, because nothing is more important than getting in-person instruction and getting that experience with the professor.
In a St. Edward's faculty survey, 68% said they have concerns about returning to campus in the fall. And when asked if they prefer face-to-face or remote learning, the answers were split, with 53% wanting in-person learning and 47% feeling like remote is still the way to go. Students were also surveyed, and when the university combined the results,
a majority of students and faculty want to return to the classroom for that face-to-face learning opportunity.
St. Edward says once the semester is underway, the plan is for all students and faculty to participate in a confidential and secure health screening daily. They can complete from their phone to quickly flag people who may be showing symptoms and get them help. And before classes begin in the fall, everyone will be tested for the coronavirus.
That'll give a baseline, ensuring that we're not bringing anyone that may be asymptomatic right to the whole time.
And then there's Concordia University, a campus of 2,500 students in Northwest Austin, rolling out a big announcement to students that looks much different. It's called a hybrid flexible model.
It is a unique learning model that essentially allows a student to decide for themselves whether they're going to be in the class or participating in the class in a virtual model.
Faculty also have the ability to choose if they want to teach in a traditional classroom or from home.
We feel particularly equipped to be able to do this. We have the technology on our campus. We have instructors who are familiar with teaching in lots of different modalities. And we believe it's important for our students to be able to make the decisions that best serves them and their family.
Universities say they're also preparing to change course as the COVID-19 situation changes. But one thing is for sure.
It's going to be just, I guess, an adventure for all of us.
For State of Texas, I'm Erin Cargile.
Thanks, Aaron. St. Ed says the university is covering the costs of the initial baseline testing for students, faculty, and staff. No fees will be added because of it. Also, all universities we spoke with say they are giving older faculty or those with health concerns an option to continue teaching remotely. The Supreme Court blocks President Trump's attempt to end DACA, but the battle for Dreamers is far from over.
Is this a permanent victory? No. The president can still go back and redo this termination decision again.
Now Texans in Congress are gearing up for a new fight over immigration and the border wall. State lawmakers look for ways to take action now on calls for police reform. How they're moving forward even though the Texas legislative session is 6 months away.